We're going to talk about some new Dead Island 2 DLC that seemingly dropped for some people, but not everybody, and I'll explain that a little bit later, as well as some of the discussion around the expansion pass itself. It's seemingly a release date that might make sense or might not. I'm also going to be giving away a gold edition of this game, and I will lay out those details in this video. What's up, boys? Tripper back into the video, and today we're checking out all things Dead Island 2. Okay, so first up, we do have like a DLC announcement or a DLC tweet by the Dead Island 2 team. And seemingly this is for the Red Demise sword, and this was also added into people's gold edition that have it unlocked. However, there's a little bit of confusion there. We got to talk about a few things with that on the Xbox side, the PlayStation side, and even on the PC. So now first up, they did tweet this out just recently, or literally just a few hours ago, and some people have already had this sword. But what do I mean by that? Is that some people were able to already pre-purchase this sword from a vendor, and that is the vendor in Venice. If we progressed up to there, you could have been able to already purchase this sword when the game first came out. Now, I didn't check, and I don't think it was there, but maybe I have some footage of it and I'll look back through that. But seemingly they tweeted out that it's available today. However, like I said, some people, and it seems like a lot of people either on the PlayStation Store were able to get the sword already, or just some people in general. However, there's even more confusion with that, because now that they tweeted out that it's available, some people with the gold edition are also getting prompted to rebuy it, or at least repurchase this sword. The sword's only $2.99 on the store, so there's a bunch of confusion there. We even have some tweets that say that I've had the expansion pass, I have all this stuff, but now it's saying that I need to rebuy it. Again, there's also those people that have already been able to get the sword as well, and it's even more confusing when you look at the release date for the actual expansion pass. Now, seemingly it is the same release date across all platforms, which is the 3rd of May today. But when you think of expansion pass, you don't really think of like just weapon skins or even a weapon in general, at least not just one. So not sure why the expansion pass would update today. Maybe that's what the errors are coming from as far as how this DLC is working, or I guess should say maybe isn't working right now. Now, I will say for me, it does prompt me to buy this stuff, or at least tells me the price of it in my add-on section on the Epic Game Store. However, it does say that it's in my library, and I know that I own it because I have the gold edition when I look at my purchases. So even though I've been re-prompted to rebuy it, I don't really have anything on Epic Game Store to test this because I buy most of my games on Steam. But as far as I'm aware, this seemingly says it's in my library, so I think that at least I have it, and I don't know if that's how it is for like all these different add-ons, or if that's how it is normally for the Epic Game Store. But that does seem like if it's not normally an issue on PlayStation or the Xbox Store and people are having that, then that's probably not a good sign, at least for this DLC working properly. It also kind of makes sense how people were accidentally able to unlock that early, even though I guess people didn't really know, and I wouldn't have known either. That's why it wasn't really brought up. And I mean, there's even like a tutorial like 5 days ago on how to get this sword, so you can see that it's in someone's game already. Again, all you got to do is head and progress through the story up until the Venice beach, and once you get there, you're able to access it from that cook guy. He's just a little vendor, and it's in the store. But again, it might not be there for you depending on what platform you're on, or even just out of random, I guess. There's also an image here which showcases what it looks like on the PlayStation Store, with that having to be able to be added to cart. Now, it does say it's been released, and they did say I have the expansion pass, so I probably do believe them because I have it too, and it's prompting me, and yeah, it's prompting them on the PlayStation Store here. Here's another person showcasing what I believe is their purchase section, and it showcases that they purchased the gold edition, the deluxe edition, they have all the standard Dead Island, whatever, and then the expansion pass, it says unavailable, very weird, and then the Red Demise, it says that they technically have to buy it, or at least it shows the price tag. So yeah, a lot of confusion there, so if you don't have the sword or aren't able to get the sword, I'm sure they're going to clear this up sometime soon. Again, this was just tweeted about an hour ago, and people are discussing it in the Discord, so they certainly know that there's an issue right now and that something needs to be fixed. We also do have kind of a cool article here that kind of details out how Dead Island was brought to light and over the finish line, because I know that also the subreddit was supposed to do an AMA, and they just haven't done it yet. I really do hope we get to that, because this is a really good game, and I really think that it was kind of like overshadowed or overlooked a little bit as far as like the general perception of it, because this is actually a pretty decent game, especially for going through the kind of development turmoil. I mean, it's up there with Skull and Bones and Beyond Good and Evil. I remember I applied to play Skull and Bones preview back in 2018, I believe, or 2019, one of the two. And yeah, I think I got maybe prompted to play in one of the alphas, but ever since then, I have not. And the Beyond Good and Evil 2, I have been waiting for that because they showed off that like insane scaling with the game and all this like cool little atmosphere stuff with it. I really wanted to explore that game. Yet nothing for those two has been kind of outlined or showcased. Whereas Dead Island 2 just kind of came out of nowhere after being like, yep, we're still making the game, and here you go, here's the game. So it's definitely cool to see this game get over that development turmoil, especially when you compare it to recent releases like Redfall, and just even with the performance problems of Jedi Survivor, Dead Island 2 ran incredible for me. And I've pretty much heard the same thing for the other platforms, although I'm not too sure as I haven't tested those myself. Yeah, there's no DLSS or FSR used in Dead Island, and it runs great. I don't know if you'd noticed, but in Redfall, it looks really smeary on the consoles. Or even like any of the console releases, like the recent ones like Jedi Survivor, it's got this like really bad smearing. Some people might think that's motion blur, but it's actually FSR. And I'm sorry, but FSR is just not as good as DLSS. So for PC, like for me, I don't really get that smearing when I use DLSS. However, if I do use FSR on PC, no matter what quality mode or performance mode or whatever, there's still really, really, really bad smearing. It doesn't look good at all. And a lot of these console games are kind of banking on the FSR, which is super unfortunate. And I hope more console people notice that they're using FSR and don't let developers do that. The only reason why they should ever use FSR on console is to push 120 FPS, not even for 60, because for 60 they can just tone some certain things down to get it looking right. But in any case, Dead Island 2 ran really well for me. Now about that giveaway though. And now unfortunately the way the giveaway has been set up, I have to restrict it to one platform, although I do very, very much appreciate it to the Dead Island team for both providing me with a copy of this game and allowing me to give it away to you guys, as I am now partnered with Deep Silver. But it is just for the Epic Game Store, but it is the gold edition, so it's like the actual meaty edition. It's the best one. And so yeah, I'm gonna be giving that away. I'm gonna have all the details down below for the Gleam, at least the Gleam description and stuff like that. Now as always, it's really just like visiting the YouTube page or retweeting a tweet that I'm probably gonna use to have this video tagged in it. It kind of just helps a little bit with getting the video out there, but it's more so to just kind of have you guys do something that also can kind of hopefully benefit me. I'm not requiring you to like or subscribe, but I would really, really appreciate if you did, because that will help me showcase that I have a higher engagement rate to a lot of these other companies, and I'll be able to get things like Starfield and some of those other big releases. So if you want to help me out and kind of like in a way help you guys out get more giveaways, then please consider liking and subscribing, and at least just like the video. Again, as always, a normal Gleam giveaway. It has all the steps right there. You sign in, do whatever. I'm not gonna make you require a last name. I think that's a little bit too expose, so you can kind of just skip that or put an initial or something so that I can recognize your name from the other things. And if you do win, be sure to check the email that you signed up with, because that's the email that I'm going to be responding to you to. And just in case, just a fair warning, because I don't have like any scam stuff going on with this, my email that I'm going to be emailing you from is utopiattv@hotmail.com. It's in my profile, in my YouTube profile. You can click and see my business email. That's the email I'm going to be emailing you from. So if you see any other email from any other person talking about some Dead Island 2 or whatever, that is not from me. Please be wary of those. And also, if you guys are encountering the problem with the red demise, please leave a little comment letting me know what's going on. If there's like an update, I'll leave an updated comment, or I'll pin your comment so that way people know that it's fixed or not fixed or whatever's going on. But if you enjoyed today's video, like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuce.